Hey, welcome. So let me ask you something. Are you an expert in your field, but you're struggling to turn all that expertise into a reliable income? Well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to unpack the single most important principle that bridges that gap between what you know and what you earn. It really all boils down to this one simple rule from the value architect Akparodi Jimmy. No trust, no sale. I mean, that's it. It is the simple, unbreakable law of the knowledge economy. Without trust, all of your value stays stuck on one side of the river, and the income you deserve stays on the other. And this is the reality for so many brilliant people. The skills are there, the experience is there, but that bridge I was talking about, it's broken. The missing piece isn't more knowledge or another certification. It's a completely different currency altogether. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover the core principle of trust, then really get what value monetization means. After that, we'll walk through the trust architecture, the 3 pillars you need. We'll also cover the common mistakes that just kill monetization, map out the natural path to a sale, and then wrap up with one final huge takeaway. All right, let's dive right into the engine room. Why is trust not just some nice-to-have thing, but the absolute fuel for every single sale you will ever make as an expert? You can forget all those old-school persuasion tactics. A sale, at its core, is a transfer of trust. And before that transfer can even happen, your potential client is subconsciously asking themselves 3 absolutely critical questions. First off, competence. Does this person actually know what they're doing? Second, it's about relevance. Okay, they're smart, but can they help me with my specific problem? And then, the biggest one of all, security. Can I really truly trust them with my hard-earned money and my future? If you get a no to any of these, the conversation is over before it's even started. And this is such a critical distinction to make. Information is everywhere. It's a commodity. You can Google pretty much anything, right? What people actually pay for is trusted transformation. They're not buying your knowledge. They are investing in a guaranteed future result. And that investment is built entirely on a foundation of trust. So that leads us perfectly into our next section. We're using this term value monetization, but what does that really mean? I promise you, it's way more than just getting paid for your skills. So here's how we're defining it. Now, the phrase I really want you to focus on here is engineering outcomes. See, this isn't a passive thing. It's about intentionally, strategically, packaging your expertise into a tangible result that someone will gladly pay for. You're not just a consultant, you're an architect of solutions. Okay, now we're getting to the absolute core of this whole thing. If trust is so important, how do you actually build it? Well, the good news is it's not some kind of magic or luck. It can be architected, and it stands on 3 incredibly powerful pillars. And here they are: clarity, proof, and consistency. Think of these as the foundation, the walls, and the roof of this structure you're building in your client's mind. Let's break down each one. Just look at the difference here. I help people with business. What does that even mean? It's so weak, so forgettable. But I help capable professionals convert their expertise into consistent income. Wow, that is a powerful, specific promise. It tells someone exactly who you are, who you help, and the result you deliver. That right there is pillar number 1, clarity. Next up, we have proof. Because, talk is cheap. Trust needs evidence to really take root and grow. This is where you show, you don't just tell. Case studies, client results, powerful testimonials, all of this is you telling your audience, hey, this isn't just theory. This stuff actually works in the real world. Proof isn't just about convincing, it's about erasing doubt. And the final pillar, but just as crucial, is consistency. A single great piece of content is easily forgotten, but when you consistently show up, day in, day out, sharing insights, teaching what you know, being that reliable source of value, you transform from just a random voice into a trusted authority. You basically become a lighthouse for them. Okay, so we know how to build trust. Now let's look at the flip side for a minute. Why do so many incredibly smart professionals fail to monetize their value? It almost always comes down to a handful of common and totally avoidable mistakes. This is the direct result of a weak trust architecture. You get confusion. And let me tell you, confusion is the absolute enemy of monetization. If a potential client is confused about what you do, who you help, or the results you can get for them, they will not buy. Period. It's just that simple. So the first huge mistake is trying to sell way too soon. Think about it. You wouldn't ask someone to marry you on a first date, right? So why would you ask for a high-value sale before you've established any kind of authority or trust? Strangers rarely buy from strangers. You have to earn the right to make an offer. The second mistake is a direct failure of that first pillar we talked about, clarity. If your offer is vague, if people can't immediately grasp the value in it, they can't trust the outcome because they don't even understand what the outcome is. Confusion just creates hesitation. It never leads to a sale. And the third mistake is basically making yourself invisible. If you don't carve out a clear, distinct space for yourself in the market, defining what you stand for and who you serve, you just blend into all the other noise out there. You need a strong, memorable identity for trust to even have a chance to take hold. So now that we've built that foundation of trust and we know what traps to avoid, let's look at how a sale becomes the simple, logical, and even natural next step in the relationship. This is not about being pushy. It's about leading. The path to a sale is really a path of service. So step 1, educate your market. Give your value away freely. Step 2, clarify their problem for them. Show them you really understand their world. Step 3, demonstrate the pathway to a solution, to a better future. And only then, as the final logical step, do you present your offer. See? It's not a pitch, it's an invitation. We have covered a lot of ground today, from the deep psychology of buying all the way to the architecture of building trust. So let's bring it all home with the single most important idea to take away from all of this. This is it. This is the ultimate takeaway. Your skills are important, your knowledge is important, but in today's world, they're commodities. What is truly rare, and therefore incredibly valuable, is trust. The person who masters the architecture of trust will always, always win. And this final quote just brings it all together beautifully. When you combine that rare currency of trust with the raw power of absolute clarity, sales stop being this big struggle. They become the inevitable, natural results of the system you've so carefully built. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Are you out there just selling your skills, or are you intentionally architecting trust? Because the answer to that question is going to define the entire future of your business. If you're ready to make that shift from just being an expert to becoming a truly trusted authority, make sure you subscribe. We're breaking down more frameworks just like this one for value monetization, business, and wealth building every single week. Thanks for listening.